Welcome everyone. Today we're here to evaluate the Woolworths Group's VMOS and the extent to which they are reflected in Woolworths' existing performance management and rewards program. Recommendations will be made on suggested changes that need to occur based on trends in the retail industry. Woolworths operates in a world that is constantly moving, changing and growing. Having experienced considerable market losses, Woolworths, in an effort to neutralise and contain the negative impact Coles and Aldi have had on its sales, has implemented customer-first strategies across all its operations. Filtering down through its vision and mission, Woolworths' customer-first culture is connected and unified under its purpose. We create better experiences together for a better tomorrow. Essentially, Woolworths' We approach has laid the foundations for a new era of partnership, innovation, inclusion, well-being, sustainability, and a deep care for people. Once measured against earnings per share growth metrics, Woolworths' reward system did little to incentivise those at the coal front. Success of its customer-first strategy starts with Woolworths recognising the interconnectedness between customer satisfaction, those who serve them, and incentivising reward systems. Considering the theory that incentives drive behaviour, Woolworths must enmesh customer-first reward systems that create commitment to individual, group, and organisational performance across all levels of its operations. Identification of best fit reward systems begins with Woolworths identifying which interdependent role, pooled, sequential, or reciprocal, is best suited to its operations. A diverse group of retail business, Woolworths operations comprise independently operating stores that require little A-suite support. Store performance contributes to overall organisational success. For this reason, Woolworths reward systems should be birthed from pooled independence traits. The nature of pooled interdependence is one where each employee performs independently with minimal support from other members of their work group for determining their success. When considered within the Woolworths operational construct, whereby each store operates autonomously, the pooling of individual employee performance results contributes not only to store performance, but ultimately Woolworths achieving its customer-first goals and objectives. For Woolworths, when contextualising the interdependent pooled environment of its operations, with the need to implement reward systems that encourage optimal workgroup performance, the focus should be on systems where rewards and tasks have real individual designs. Unlike collective reward systems that incite competition between individual interests within workgroups, individual reward systems are best fit for Woolworths' customer-first purpose, as they encourage an alignment of both individual and group performance for the betterment of overall team and ultimately organisational performance. The principal objective of Woolworths Board, hereafter referred to as the A-Suite, is to maintain and increase shareholder value whilst at the same time ensuring the overall activities of the Woolworths Group are properly managed. Its role is to represent and serve the interest of shareholders by overseeing and appraising the group's strategy, policies and performance. Responsible for overseeing management decisions, operations and day-to-day running of its brands and progress reporting to the board is the Group Executive Committee, also referred to as the A-Suite. As can be seen on the current slide, the A-Suite is performing their role well, with the Woolworths Group experiencing significant market success over the last 5 years. The A-Suite, however, have not achieved this alone. So why then should Woolworths' incentive model exist only for leaders? In my opinion, it shouldn't. My reasoning lives in Woolworths' recently announced initiative for providing a better tomorrow for its teams, members and customers. Branded as the Better Together Share Award, team members recognised as having achieved extraordinary outputs become eligible to receive company shares, giving them stakeholder ownership in the organisation. Working on the premise that there is no I in team, this type of progressive top-down, bottom-up reward for effort incentivising will be more effective than initiatives created just for the A-suite. Back to Woolworths A-suite, however, Woolworths recently implemented a long-term incentive scheme that aligns remuneration with long-term shareholder returns. Whilst it is accepted that the A-suite of S&P 500 companies, such as the Woolworths Group, receive considerable compensation for the work they perform, the question is, why then do they warrant further incentive to perform? The answer is simple. Like all employees, the A-suite respond to incentives, and as has previously been discussed, incentives have been positively linked to performance. Designed to act as a success strategy for achieving performance objectives, there remains a constant challenge for balancing A-suite incentives and motivation for adding value to shareholders. Essentially, if not forensically measured, the same incentive created to encourage A-suite effort to maximise results can also allow for poor performance. If Woolworths was considering introducing an A-suite incentive-only model, this is the environment in which it would prove successful, as it would create accountability and act as a powerful motivator to achieve shareholder targets. So far, we have discussed the interdependencies that exist within the Woolworths Group and the best fit performance and reward incentives that will encourage peak performance. We have also discussed the very different and yet interconnected roles of Woolworths A-suite and those at the coal front, and how they influence Woolworths' customer-first performance strategies. What we have not discussed, however, are the very real human emotions, positive or negative, real or unreal, that will manifest when there is a perceived inequity or imbalance in incentive models such as leader-only incentives as discussed above. The reasoning is found in equity theory that proposes that it can be expected that the internal locus of individual employees will naturally result in them comparing their contributions, defined as inputs, with those of others. Should an imbalance in outcomes, that is, rewards, perceived or real, occur, it can be expected that, to reduce this discrepancy, employees will adjust their attitudes and contributions in an attempt to restore balance. Essentially, whilst performance management systems carry with them an expectation of results and reward, there is always the risk that the presumed versus the actual reality of goal alignment and goal certainty can deviate significantly from that intended if equal consideration is not given to hidden emotional perspectives and measurable performance metrics for determining outcomes and reward. Not doing so will likely result in unintended behaviours such as tunnel vision, substitution, suboptimal behaviour, performance bias, or a singular fixation on KPIs, the outcomes of which will have a profoundly negative effect on employee and organisational performance. Embedded in equity theory, implementing leader-only incentives examples the demotivating impact and subsequent human, emotional consequences that doing so will have on lesser employees and ultimately the Woolworths Group. One of Woolworths' biggest challenges is retention of knowledge employees. Considered future leaders, Woolworths must implement the right retention strategies to reduce the risk of targeted employees leaving the organisation. Following is a review of terminologies. Retention. Actions or plans implemented to encourage employees to stay with the organisation. They include purposed rewards, meaningful interactions, ensuring organisation and person fit, and providing a secure, healthy, physical and emotional work environment. Total rewards includes financial, non-financial, direct, indirect, intrinsic, and extrinsic rewards that organisations can offer in support of the rewards element within their operations. Reward strategy. Built on the internal influence of an organisation's culture, it is one of the most important factors in a retention strategy. The right reward strategy delivers the right amount to the right people at the right time for the right reasons, henceforth acting to motivate and retain talented employees. In today's modern and competitive operating environment, however, Woolworths must cater for the generationally specific preferences and motivators of its employees to ensure they remain engaged and motivated. Ranked in order of preference, the following 5 reward components must form the focus of Woolworths' retention strategy: compensation, work-life balance, benefits, career development and opportunities, performance management, and recognition. Rewards play an important role in motivating employees to perform. It also stands to reason, however, that misaligned reward strategies can result in poor employee and organisational performance. When considering the reward strategy component of its retention strategy, however, it is important that Woolworths recognises that employees are not the sole focus. Like the partnership that exists between Woolworths A-Suite and its operations, so too is there a partnership between the meaningful rewards for the right employee and rewards that are positively aligned with organisational performance. Like Woolworths' recently implemented Better Together Share Award for rewarding outstanding performance, and employee share ownership plan examples of reward based on organisational success. Serving a dual purpose, by linking employees to overall organisational performance, it is expected that because they will benefit from organisational profits, they will be more motivated to perform to a higher level and remain with the organisation. So at this point, I would like to thank you for your time. I will now open the floor to any questions you may have.